Okay, it's the special edition. We've got a guest in the house, and as a matter special edition. We've got a guest in the house. Okay, well that was the accidental sound check, so at least I know we're good now. So I don't need to do the sound check. And let's bring him in without much further ado. Let me introduce to you the knowledge, Mr. Spencer Fearon. Spencer Fearon, the knowledge.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you very much for having me on Ralph Dawkins Combat Radio. I mean, it's a pleasure. Hey, wait there, Ralph. Are you from Brum, yeah?
Yes.
What part?
North Birmingham, yeah.
Okay. My friend, that all sounds the same to me, so but don't worry about
it. North Brum. Let's have a look. Okay, we got people populating the area. Baboon Boxing, Cal L, salute to you. Everybody hit the like, subscribe, comment, and all of that. Dr. Woodock in the building. Spencer, salute.
Thank you very much, Carl.
Big up, Spencer.
Yeah, Dr. Wu, thank you very much, my friend.
Absolutely. And I always have my little African drums in the background, so we're gonna keep it there. We're gonna bring them in. I always like to hear them playing in the background. Hold on, there we go. Gives me a kind of tempo to work to. Okay, so without much further ado, we're gonna get straight into it. 1 2 1 2. I'm assuming people we don't need to do a sound check because we did an accidental one. And it was fine. So let me know in the chat if you can hear us loud and clear. Okay, just confirm that for me. Confirm that you can hear us loud and clear. Somebody do that ASAP because there is a delay. Okay, well, I'm going to carry on. All loud and clear. Okay, thanks for that, Khalil. Okay, so let's proceed. Let's get into it. Where am I going to start? Okay. We're going to start with the weekend just gone. Fury versus Chisora. Chisora's trainers taking a little bit of stick for not stopping the fight earlier.
Well, let me tell you this now, right? The people giving Don Charles any stick, I've said this on many occasions, said it on Fighters Right. I said it on IFL with Razban, and now I'm saying it on the Ralph Dawkins Combat Radio Show. It's better to create something that others criticize than to create nothing can criticize others. It's quite simple. Don Charles has done an excellent job with Derek Chisora and getting him in shape and getting him prepared and everything else. When they're turning around saying, they should stop the fight or we should have stopped the fight earlier, the rules of boxing is to protect yourself at all times. Don Charles requested from Derek, I think it's at the end of the 8th round, like, show me something or I'm going to pull the fight. Yeah? Derek Chisora, being the gallant, noble warrior that he is, turned to Don Charles and said to Don Charles, give me my gum shield and get out of it. So when you're dealing with that kind of person in Derek Chisora, he wasn't coming for a payday. Because if he was coming for a payday, when Tyson Fury let off that barrage of shots on, I think it was round 4, he could have laid down and said, right, and nobody wouldn't say nothing. They'd have looked at it like a simple thing. All right, then, these two know each other, and just, I'm bringing you in, I'm giving you a payday. But no, I can tell you the real story. The real story is this. In 2013, when Tyson Fury was in that dark place, Derek Chisora reached out. Derek Chisora reached out to help him. Derek Chisora was that kind of guy for him, right? Even though they boxed twice, but in the Warriors Code, and they have the Warriors Code, they demonstrated that the other night. Tyson Fury said, right, when I'm back up, because I'm going to come back, I'm going to do all these things, which he has done. So credit to Tyson Fury. He says, Derek, I'm going to give you a payday, you know. Don't get twisted. I'm going to look to knock you out, but I'm going to give you a payday. Right? So luck has it, chance has it, universe has it. You know what I mean? Law of attraction has it. God had it that Derek had that incredible win against Pulev. And he could have walked away from boxing, but he didn't. Right? That win over Pulev put him in the top 10 of the WBC rankings. As we know, Anthony Joshua didn't take the fight with Tyson Fury. There's a lot of stipulations, and Anthony Joshua saying, listen, regardless that you're the A side, but when we're talking the money thing, I'm the A side. Right? So that fight didn't happen. There. So we've got to think. The stadium's already booked for the 3rd of December. Right? Who else? And I was there. The place was jammed. So don't tell me about, it wasn't selling and blah, blah, blah. Absolute nonsense. The place was rammed out. And on top of that, so credit to Frank Warren. Remember, we're talking, it's December, you know?
Yeah.
Out there is not no warm weather. It's cold.
It's cold.
It was very cold when I hit that stadium, right? I had a nice big black overcoat. But, you know, let me just big up Suited and Booted because they sent me my suit from Dubai. So I said, there's no way I'm covering up this suit. I have to wear the suit. I have to rock the suit out. So when you look at it like that, when Don Charles is getting criticism for not pulling the fight, you have to look at it like, what was Don meant to do? We've seen Derek do certain things, like in the Carlos Takam fight, where he was losing and he comes back and claps out the man with that right hand, right? And when you're in those kind of situations, fighting for the lineal and the WBC championship of the whole wide world, you got to think to yourself, are we going to take those chances? And they did. Unlike Eddie Futch, who was it in 1975, when he pulled out Joe Frazier, right? When he pulled him out after the 14th round. This wasn't the case here. Because he's saying like, right, no, go out on your shield. Derek wanted to go out on his shield. Victor Loughlin heard the conversations that Don and Derek were having back and forth, and that initiated his action to stop the fight, right? But I want people to realize the true winner of that fight was actually Derek Chisora, right? Because here is a man who, when it came to boxing ability, he was limited in certain areas. But everything that came out of Derek Chisora becoming British, Commonwealth, European champion, fighting 2 times for the World Heavyweight Championship, right? Came out of the genius of his mind. That's where it came from. It came from his genius of his mind and his pig-headedness and stubbornness to say that I want to succeed. So I don't look at Derek Chisora as no loser. As far as and he got paid handsomely the other night as well, right? He got paid handsomely by sponsorship. Derek. I'm saying like I have to salute you on another level. I've got to salute you, right? Do I want Derek to continue? No. What I believe that Derek should do, I think Derek should have like a farewell fight, right? Like maybe against someone like Dave Allen, who's a competitive guy, but Derek, really and truly, if he's up for it, he's meant to beat this guy, right? Does have a farewell fight not with a dangerous opponent, but have a farewell fight. Because Derek, by his own admissions, after he was interviewed by Radio Raheem, I was in the changing room, and he said, I don't want to go out from boxing like that. You know what I mean? And I think Derek Chisora does numbers, right? So that's what I believe that Derek should do. I've got a lot of time for Derek, good guy. You know what I mean? And it meant a lot. Like I worked in the camp with him for 6 weeks. I was in the camp with him. And it was good. It was enjoyable. You know what I mean? It was an enjoyable time working in the camp with those guys. You know what I mean? And yes, it was a massive ask. Massive ask. You know what I mean? Because even guys who are ranked higher and better than Derek Chisora, yeah? I don't see no one beating Tyson Fury for that. So it was a massive ask for Derek Chisora. But as far as I was concerned, go in there and do your thing. And he didn't disgrace himself. He didn't disgrace himself. I've seen other guys go up against Tyson Fury and not fare as good as Derek Chisora. So props to Derek Chisora.
Yeah, props to Derek Chisora. I think, like you say, one more maybe, but I think people do respect Derek Chisora. He has achieved more than he was expected to achieve.
Of course he did.
And so he's a success story. He's a success story. But
100%.
the fear is when a boxer carries on too long.
I hear that.
The negative medical repercussions of that.
Listen to what I'm saying to you, yeah? Everybody's threshold and durability level is different, right? Everybody's is. Like if you go back to certain guys in the 60s and 70s, if you look at George Chuvalo is way up in age right now, got all these faculties. You think, what? All of these faculties. No one ever used to get punched in the head like this guy, you know? All of these faculties. So certain people's thresholds are different to other people. Time will tell, you know what I mean, when it comes, right? No, I wouldn't want to see Derek Chisora continue against top-rated guys to go and get hurt. Maybe because he's still in him, the fire is still in his belly, he wants to fight. You know what I mean? But Derek did say one thing about me. He said, look, Spence, you know, the coolest thing is me just being in my house, chilling with my friends, and just, you know what I mean? So, maybe so, but whatever happens to Derek Chisora is a massive success story.
Yes. Right,
massive success story. I think we should props him for that. I think we should take time out to salute him being that success story.
Totally. 100%. 100%. Okay, staying with the heavyweights. I have to admit, it's my favorite division. It's my favorite division. You know what I'm saying? Fury. Yeah, let's talk about Fury now. Where does Fury go? Looks like he can go Usyk or Joe Joyce.
You know what? It's going to take a very good man to beat Tyson Fury, right? The guy really does know boxing. I see him do certain things in that ring there, and for his body type, he's not meant to do those stuff, right? Tyson Fury is very, very good, and how he puts his combinations together, how he judges distance, gauges range, knows when to throw shots. He rarely misses a shot that he throws. And when he does, he puts them together in a cluster. So one shot may fool you, but sometimes he's throwing that shot to trick you. So you'll swear out the way, you actually swing out the way to go into his right hand. Tyson Fury's a very, very good, seriously, he's very good. Very good.
Hell of a boxing brain.
Yeah.
What I've said is that he, thus far, to date, he's the most coordinated giant we've had in boxing to date.
He's 6'9", so yeah, he is the most. Yeah, I have to agree with you.
The most coordinated giant we've ever had in boxing.
I mean, yeah, he's very coordinated, and he puts his punches together well. And the guy actually enjoys boxing. He loves this thing more. And you know what I respect about him as well. So, got into the change room to check him doing his gloves. Right, I know Sugar Hill from way back. Go into the change room, and he was visibly nervous, right? And I like the fact that he was nervous because it shows that even when you're in with an opponent that everybody's been slating and saying, "Oh, you're easily going to beat him," he was nervous. But what he does is this: he feeds off of the crowd and the energy of the crowd. Because when he walked out into the stadium and he heard that roar, then he puts on his mask of being this entertainer, of being Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. When he's in the change room, he's just Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? But when he puts on his mask, he becomes a Gypsy King. That's his superpower. and he uses the energy of the crowd to ignite the fuel of fire inside his belly. I'll give him that.
For real, for real, for real, for real. So Usyk, it's going to be hard for Usyk to overcome the. I think it's going to be hard for almost everybody to overcome the reach, the length. The one person,
It's not even a reach. It's not even a length. This is boxing IQ they got to overcome, right? This is boxing IQ. But I do believe that Usyk will give him trouble. You know what I mean? I do believe Usyk will give him trouble. I think the one to give him the most trouble out of there would be Joe Joyce, because he's so blinking tough and he's resilient. But Tyson Fury could most probably handle our boxing, right? But what I am saying is that his relentless pressure could cause Tyson Fury a lot of problems. A lot of problems, my friend.
I think that Joe Joyce is my pick. I mean, Anthony Joshua out of the equation. He's had 2 losses. He's going to come back with some wins before I can put him back in the equation.
No, you know what? Sorry to cut you, my brother.
No, it's all right.
Body stature wise, if Anthony Joshua was on it and said, listen, I'm going to, like Tundi always says, this roadman science, let's have it like that. Yeah. Let's have a gunfight. Gunfight.
Yeah.
I think Anthony Joshua could beat Tyson Fury.
Well, I do too.
It'd have to be a gunfight.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. And
I don't know if the gunfighter is not now gun shy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying. Not now. He has to find his inner gunfighter in him again after a couple of wins. So not now. So Anthony Joshua, yes, the gunfighter, yes, but not now. The gunfighter, I'm not sure. Like you say, I'm not sure the gunfighter is there right now. And even if he's there, it's like, you know, them old cowboy films when you're quick on the draw. Who's the quickest on the draw? You know what I'm saying? He's got to get his draw handed, and a man rolls into town. The man who rolls into town who's quickest on the draw. He's good because he's been doing it. He's been doing it the town before. He's been quickest on the draw. But if he's rolled into town and he's come off 2 losses where he's got grazed and nicked and he's had to run behind the tavern to get away, that's not the right time. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I think that I fancy Joe Joyce as being the one potentially right now to give Tyson Fury his toughest fight.
Listen, Joe Joyce is a problem, you know. I want man to realize that. Joe Joyce is a problem. Massive problem. So they're talking about that fight being in the summer. So let's see. They're talking about Usyk and Fury. What was that? Late March?
Yeah.
So if that is the case, let's see what happens. I just want to see an undisputed heavyweight champion. That's what I want. It's been long overdue. I don't have a business if a man wins it and then the belts get fragmented again. I don't care.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to see.
Yeah. Yes. I think that's a general view. Get your questions in, folks. I got a lot of questions myself, but get your questions in. What's going on here? Some people suggest that. Okay. Some people are suggesting that Fury is Lennox Lewis level, i.e., best of the era. I don't support that thought.
No. Hold on. We got to say, like, of the generation so far, if he beats Usyk, he's the best of his generation.
Right.
Let's be real.
This generation.
Yeah, of this generation, he's the best of this generation.
Right. Yeah.
If he beats these guys, if he beats them, he's the best of his generation. Give me Jews is the best of his generation. Right. But it's only of this generation. Would this generation have lasted in the early 2000s? Would this generation have lasted? Thank you. Would this generation have lasted in the 90s? Would this generation have lasted in the 80s?
No.
This generation would have lasted in the 70s. So don't even go there, right? So it is what it is. But Tyson Fury most probably could have mixed in any generation because of his size
Yeah.
and how he boxes.
Yeah.
Right? He most probably could have lasted. But do I think that he could have fought guys like Big George Foreman, who in comparison weren't big at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In comparison, Tyson Fury's not big.
That's right.
Right? But if George clap you, you're gone.
I've said that.
Right. So I mean, when people like, I see like Sylvester Stallone saying like, "Oh, you know," you say that like, "Oh, yeah, I think you would be you last in any generation." It's kind of like, brother, you invented Rocky because you people weren't getting a look in. So mind them talk, bro.
Exactly.
Right. So I'm not. He don't get twisted. Tyson Fury is very, very good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Do I think Tyson Fury would have beaten a Pete Vitaly Klitschko? I don't think he would have, you know. No, I don't. I'm not to be wrong. I don't think he would have.
I don't know if he'd beat. I don't know if he'd beat my man in the rematch.
Yeah, you know what?
Vlad.
Regardless, that's not for me to turn around and say, "Oh, let's gun Tyson Fury," because Tyson Fury is bloody excellent.
Yeah,
I'm just keeping it real. He's excellent. Of what we got right now, Tyson Fury is excellent, and we should appreciate Tyson Fury while he's here.
Yes. He's a long guy who uses that length.
Yep.
He uses the length. A lot of people give up their length. They give up their key attribute. A lot of people, they give up their key attributes. He does not.
Nope, he doesn't at all.
So you got to give him props. You got to give him props for that. But this generation, don't get it twisted, people. We're not talking about going back. We're talking about the current crop. Personally, we're talking about the current crop. Previous crops give him problems, big problems. Okay, let us continue. Let us move on. Okay, let's stick with the heavyweights for a while. Deontay Wilder is making some noise. He's saying that he would travel to England to fight Anthony Joshua.
Well, let him travel. I think he'd get a warm welcome, and I think that would be a roadblock fight. But I think there are other fights that are about right now before that. And when I mean other fights, I think Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua will come before Deontay Wilder. That's what I believe. And I think that would be a very entertaining fight. And forget about the Dillian Whyte that we saw the other day. The Dillian Whyte we saw the other day would not be the Dillian Whyte that's turning up to fight Anthony Joshua. Let's just get that straight, right? And also people need to realize that I don't really believe that Dillian Whyte's mind was totally on the job, especially with like Dean losing his son two weeks prior. I don't think his mind was on the job. I think his mind was elsewhere.
Yeah.
But that's not me making up no excuses. He got the win. It was very close. He was very fortunate to get the win. If the verdict went the other way, I don't think he could have really argued about it. It was a close fight, but there was no way that fight was 116, 112. There weren't 8 rounds in it. Do you know what I mean? There was not 8 rounds in it for Dillian Whyte.
No.
I gave it to Dillian Whyte by a solitary round. And I was trying to be the most unbiased because I've grown around. Dylan's grown around me. Grown around me. So the most unbiased that I'm trying to be, and I saw, and I gave it to Dylan by 1 round. If they didn't give him a draw, I wouldn't even complain, right? Yeah. But that doesn't sell. So I'm saying, like, if you're gonna bump him, man, don't bump him by 8 rounds, though.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. I saw it going either way. I gave it to Dillian by 2,
right.
But if you reversed it by 2.
Exactly. It was one of those fights. And you know what? It is what you prefer in seeing. And fortunately, the judges preferred to see the England man do his thing. Then so it is what it is. I'm saying I'm happy that the Dillian Whyte train has not come to a halt. And we shall see now what else he does.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good because that was one of the questions on my list. So we've taken care of the Dillian White question. I have to ask you, we've already touched on it, but I have to ask you specifically this question. How good is Joe Joyce? Because what I've been saying for the last couple of years is everybody's been saying Joe Joyce is slow. But what I've been saying is that if Joe Joyce is so slow, how come he keeps smacking people in the face?
Joe Joyce ain't slow. Joe Joyce gives a perception that he's slow because of his style of fighting, but Joe Joyce isn't slow. Joe Joyce is pinpoint accurate. He doesn't really waste punches neither, and he is relentless. He'll throw a right hand and come back with a left hook on you. Don't believe me? Ask Joseph Parker. I mean, Joe Joyce is a problem. He's very good. Joe Joyce is a champion in waiting.
Yes.
Right? I'm just letting you know this now. Joe Joyce is a problem.
I agree with you.
Right? He's a bro. Joe Joyce is a problem. I'm in a documentary. Was it Marvelous Mother? I think it is. It's about his mother, but I'm in that documentary. Really good documentary. That is, I think it's going to be one of them companies going to buy it, but they had the special screening for it last week. But I was doing the watch along me and Tundi for Dylan White's fight, so I couldn't go to it. And yeah, that brother is a problem. I just want you to realize that he is a problem.
I seen it a couple of years back. Everybody's saying he's so slow, and I'm saying, yeah, he's slow. Don't you see him smacking people in the face?
Well, listen to me. Yeah, all he's got to do is keep on winning. The people who don't see it now, they'll catch up. All he's got to do is keep on winning.
They're beginning to catch up because Joseph Parker ain't no punk.
Listen, nobody's done that to Joseph Parker.
Nobody.
Nobody. Not Derek Chisora, not Anthony Joshua, not Dylan White. Nobody has done that to him.
Nobody.
Just know that part there. Joseph Parker's a nice guy, though, man. Really nice guy. I saw him when I walked into the changing room for Fury. I see him nice guy. I got a lot of time for him. But I got a lot of time for the Furies as well. As we know, like my mum chipped out recently, John Fury has been very, very helpful. You know what I mean? So I can't knock them neither. But you know what I mean? It is what it is, man.
It is what it is. Yeah, you gotta give him props. Okay, as we proceed. It's a big one. Daniel Dubois versus Kevin Lerena. OMG.
Daniel Dubois is a powerhouse, and I think once he gets rid of certain psychological demons that are in his head, then I believe that he'll be just fine. He got caught with a left hook in the first round. He kind of like twisted his back leg as well. Like, I don't know what happened there. Maybe he popped the muscle in his leg. I don't know what happened. But when under fire, since the Joe Joyce fight, you can see him quivering away. I don't like to see those things inside of a fight. You know what I mean? So I know that isn't a physical thing. That's a psychological thing and a mental thing. So I think he's going to have to do a lot of mental build-ups or have people around him that can build up that kind of spirit in him. But fair play to Shane McGuigan because he enabled him to pull it around. But Lenara, I saw him after the fight. I saw him before the fight. Very respectful brother, you know. South African. Him and his trainer, Powers, right? Really nice people. So I got to give them a shout. But he knows that he threw away that fight. Because if he had any sense whatsoever, the second round, he should have gone all out. That's what he could have done. But you know what? In hindsight, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Oh, he should have this, should have done that. You know what I mean? He didn't go all out. And he weren't too quick to attack Daniel because Daniel was a strong, strong man. He got punching power. So he weren't quick to attack. And especially when you're a southpaw, the sensibility to the right hand is easier for you to get clapped with, right? But then also a really good shot for a southpaw is the left hook. But he was throwing him like when he caught him with an arcing left hook from his southpaw position. Now he should have just like tucked up tight and tried to battle with Daniel because Daniel's head was still scrambling. He didn't get better.
Right.
He allowed it. He didn't jump on him, and that was kind of things. That's when you're going to put your foot on the gas, and he should have done that because I know personally because I saw him after the fight because I went into his changing room. He's kind of kicking himself because, boy, you know what? I just threw it away. But he's young enough to come back.
Yes.
Because he's a good fighter. And when the fight was announced, I was saying to everyone, look, hey, bro, I've seen this you fight. You know, he's got hands on him. You know.
Yeah.
He's got good hands on him.
Yeah. Yeah. Clearly, yeah. He dropped him. He dropped the boy. And then what about the 10 second? Was it the first round? Was 10 seconds? It was 10 seconds short.
Yeah, you know what? Like I'm saying, I don't really want to get into it too much, but that was what's that all about?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, what is that all about?
You know, it's strange, man. It's strange.
You know what, when you're the home fighter,
yeah,
they're gonna give you as much, even though it's wrong, but they're gonna give you as much chance as possible. And he got a lot of chances as possible. And he came. And no one can argue with how he finished him. That's what I'm saying. That was brutal how he finished him.
It was.
It was brutal. Yeah, I mean, a fair play to him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Fair play to him.
Yeah, yeah. Bit of home cooking, maybe. Bit of home cooking. Happens all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Happens all over the world. Oh. Did you watch the Chocolatito versus Estrada?
I didn't. I'm going to watch it on the weekend.
Yeah. I just saw snippets of that. Well, let's get your take. Get your questions in, folks. Get your questions in. Let's get your take on the PBC situation, the Crawford versus Spence merry-go-round as it continues. Are they ever going to fight?
I hope so, but at this present moment, I'm not too sure what's going on.
Yeah. This current moment. Well, he's fighting. What's his name? Crawford's fighting Avanesian, isn't he?
Well, we just got to be real. Is that a fight, really and truly? Come on. You know what I mean? Let's just be real. It's not.
Crawford's.
Remember, Kavaleskis beat Avanesian.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
I forgot.
Crawford stopped Kavaleskis.
Yeah.
Right. I know styles make fights, but no, this is going to be a great performance by Terence Crawford, and he will totally batter. I don't care that it's been a hot minute since he's fought, but he will totally annihilate.
Yeah.
A year now since he's fought, he hasn't fought, right? He will totally annihilate Avanesian. Even though I like Avanesian, I'm glad that he's got this opportunity because he's getting paid $1 million for this as well. So that's incredible for him as well. So that's some real big security going his way, but he's gonna get punched up badly.
For real. And well, I hope we get the Spence fight, Spence v Crawford, but
yeah, I hope we get it too. But you know what I mean, I'm not gonna hold my breath on that one. I'm really not gonna hold my breath on that.
No.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll give you a couple more questions, Ralph.
Yeah.
I'm going to my bed. I am tired.
I hear you.
I've got school run in the morning as well, you know, my kids.
I hear you, man. Okay, let's just bust out a couple more. How can we forget? Well, let me get your take on a couple of fights. Haney versus Loma.
I got Haney winning that one, you know. I got Haney winning that one. Haney showed me something that I was like, you know what? He's actually in the last 2 fights. Haney has shown me something. So yeah.
Liam Smith, Chris Eubank Jr.
Depending what Liam Smith's got left, Liam Smith could pull this one off, you know. Depending on what he's got left. But it's very difficult to go because one thing with Chris Eubank Jr. is his work rate.
Yeah.
His work rate's ridiculous.
Yes.
So his work. So I got to say, like, Eubank on points.
Yeah. I'll go with Eubank on points also.
Yeah.
And the last question from me, and then we get one from somebody out there. But the last question from me, Arthur Beterbiev versus Anthony Yard. That's going to be...
That's a dumb question. I'm anti-Yard all day long. You know what I mean? I'm the old lion in the camp. So, you know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? I'm a fusser in that camp. So, yeah, 100%. I'm anti-Yard. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I'm just want everybody who's keeping up this energy, like, oh, it's a hard fight, oh, it's this and that, and all the rest of it. I know how hard Tundi's training and working with his fighter. I know how hard. I know how hard anti-Yard is putting in that work because I get reports every day. So we shall see. Everyone, like I said, keep on gassing up Batavia. Keep on, I want everybody, because come the next day on the 29th, I want everybody to keep that same energy. But you lot just keep on gassing them up.
Hey. Well, we had to hear it from you because I know that was an interesting question. But the last question, and it's come from somebody in the...
I'll give you two more. I'll go to 40. It's all right. I'll go to 40. Go on.
All right, cool. So let's... Okay, so this one is Baboon Boxing asks, if you were an up-and-coming boxer today, which 3 British coaches would your current self recommend to your new self, and why? OMG, that's a question.
That is a proper question.
Proper.
That is a proper question. I rate quite a few guys in boxing. You know what I mean? I think if someone gets a lot of criticism, I think he's a very good coach. Is Tundi Ajayi? I like because of the camp that he's got right now. Tundi by himself, no, but Tundi now that he's got James Cook around him, 100%. I would say because you need that old head who has got that experience, right? Tundi's still a young man himself, but he's experienced.
Yeah.
And that's why he's lasted the test of time, because he's been training guys for nearly 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would say, Tundi Ajayi. I do like Shane McGuigan.
Yeah, me too.
Right, I like Shane McGuigan. Not only that, because of the plethora of knowledge that he's come from, like his old man and everything else, as a trainer. I like Don Charles, even though he don't get no credit whatsoever.
You don't get no love.
He doesn't get any love at all. But Don Charles is very astute to details. That's why I like Don. He's very, very astute to details. Little tiny incremental things he's very astute to. I like Adam Booth a lot. I think Booth's a good trainer. I do think because he's very incremental like that as well. He's one of those guys. And Adam Booth is the only man that I know that can teach a man to throw a 4-punch combination and use that same 4-punch right throughout. I was very impressed with what he did with Josh Kelly, because Troy Williams is not no joke. Troy Williams is a killer. I want people to realize this. And he fine-tuned and got into Josh's head to say, right, we have to perform here. And yeah, so Adam Booth, there's quite a few. So there's not, you know what I mean? I like Joe Gallagher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I realized with Joe Gallagher, because of the level that is at, he can pick and choose. Like, he don't get no idiot man. He gets men who have done the crud in the amateurs, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I rate Joe. There's too many, so I don't want to leave out no one. There's a couple guys who I said, but all of them will be done. If I was to go back and get my trainer's license, they'll all be finished.
Why do you do that?
You know what? I enjoy the position that I have. I enjoy being in camps with fighters now. Like, big up to Derek Chisora, Don Charles. They gave me a new lease of life. I enjoy being in camps. I enjoy sitting down and watching fights with the fighters and breaking down stuff and showing them things that maybe they don't see, or if they do see it, I'm just reaffirming it. So yeah. That's
beautiful. But Spence, just one last quick one from L. Gramos. Who should AJ train with?
I think he should choose Abel Sanchez or Mark Ramsey. aggressive boxer puncher style. He's out now doing bits with Virgil Hunter.
What's he going to?
Yeah, that's what he's doing right now. He's out doing bits with Virgil Hunter. And well, there's a couple of good questions. I might stay on there a bit longer, Right. Right. I'm saying Abe Sanchez. He's a good trainer. Mark Ramsey's very good. You know what I mean? And Mark Ramsey's very, very good. I like Mark. He's a nice guy as well. But I'm saying there was talk that Roy Jones was getting involved with AJ.
Yeah.
But then it didn't happen. I think Roy Jones was saying like these guys were trying to refer me to go speak to like people in his camp to go get the job. He's saying, I'm Roy Jones, bro. What you did? Yeah, maybe. So yeah. Anything. But you know what I mean, I've said this a lot. I really think that Anthony Joshua should have Lennox Lewis in some form of capacity working with him. You know what I mean? And I was with Anthony Joshua 2 weeks ago in the gym. So, you know what I mean, I've got a lot of time for him. Nice guy. Lovely, lovely guy.
I've said that.
Uncle Burn, what's that?
Apostrophe.
Apostrophe says, do you think Ben Davison is a good trainer or more a better analyst? You know what? We're going to know how good he is when he takes someone from scratch and brings them to something. Right? Right now, we can't judge whether he's a good trainer or not. He's a very good analyst, but sometimes you can be a good analyst because you just like to hear yourself talk. But what I am saying is, of recent, he's been going back and forth with loads of people in boxing, especially with Jamie Conlon, Michael Conlon's brother. They've been very vocal against each other.
Oh.
I mean, now, in the old days, when everybody was at a certain company that is now defunct, we weren't getting these little inroads, fightings, and all the rest of it. But you know when they say, like, when the cat's away, the mice will play. I mean, now, so I think Ben Davison has an aptitude to learn. But what I didn't like is when he was saying the reason he's getting this success in boxing is because all the other trainers are lazy and all the rest of them. Do you remember when he said that? And I'm saying, bro, this is why, and this is no disrespect to Ben, because I say it to his face. This is how I know that you have not grown up in the fundamentals of boxing, because I don't believe that you even boxed. You didn't even box, bro. You feel me? And that's not me knocking you, because Angelo Dundee didn't box.
That's right.
You know? Right, but what Angelo Dundee did do, he surrounded himself with boxing people. You know what I mean? Because his brother was in the fight game. His brothers used to box, so it's different. But when you're turning around saying those kind of things, like the reason why, I want to see, like, will you stand the test of time? That's what I want to know. But he has got this kid, what's it, Royston Smith. Yeah? I know Royston Smith is a bad boy. Trust me on that.
Okay.
He's 2-0 now, right? Royston Smith, that kid, I've seen him a couple of times. I know his mom and dad as well, from a traveling community. That you can fight. I mean, I think he's 18. That you's going to be, I believe he could be something very, very special. Right? So you go take that, you go bring him through, then I'll say, yeah. You know what I mean? But right now, I'm not going to turn around and say you're a good trainer. I'm saying you're good at what you've done because we're talking about you now. But I'm not going to belittle no one and say, oh, no, you're a terrible trainer. Because you know what I mean? How we judge somebody if they're a good trainer or not is, do all your fighters fight the same? Then you're not a good trainer.
For real.
Right?
Yeah.
And can you handle different styles? And are your fighters fighting? Is there adaptability? But you got to remember, all your top fighters have left you. Billy Joe Saunders, they left you.
Josh Taylor,
they've left you. Right? Tyson Fury, they left you. So therefore, there must be something now. That we're looking and saying, well, boy, there must be something not too right. but you have to test. You have to stand the test of time. It's not about you just coming in and being a one-hit wonder. Or you're being hot for that brief moment, and then when you're being hot for that brief moment, sometimes your ego can get the better of you. It's understandable. You're young.
Yeah.
So it's not even me. Like, I'm not gunning you, but I know, like, those comments that you made, that is a young man who can't sit back and look at the surroundings around him because you're in it. So you just blurt off, well, the reason why is because these trainers are lazy and blah, 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 and all the rest of it. I'm saying that upset a lot. I'm not even a trainer.
It would do.
It upset a lot of people. Now people will go and comment and say, to him, but they left it.
Mm.
But you are seeing other guys who, you know what I mean? You've seen it, like with him and Conlon going back and forth. You're seeing that kind of thing. And the next thing is this. We never know what anybody's going through, right? Anybody's going through. We don't. We don't know how people are. So what I'm trying to say is, like, we should take time with the things that we say. But like I said, Ben's, what is he, 30? He's a little youth. You know what I mean?
Youth, man.
Yeah. You know what I mean? He's still a piss in bed. You know what I mean? So, see, like on certain things, we just got to take time with people. Because we never know what other people are going through. So I took that very disrespectfully, to tell you the truth.
It wasn't the most diplomatic. It showed a lack of maturity. Showed a lack of maturity on his part.
Yeah, I totally agree with that
one. Last one, maybe. Which
fighter at British level or below is the next to become a world champion? January 28th, Anthony Yard is the next guy to become world champion.
And if not him, although it will be him because you just heard it. But who's fighting Josh Taylor? What's his name again?
Jack Catterall. Jack Catterall is a very, very good fighter.
Yeah.
Very good fighter.
Yeah.
Who was it? Lee Baird was telling me, like, Spence, I'm telling you, he's going to do things. And I couldn't see it because I remember his fight with O'Hara Davis, and I didn't believe that Catterall won that fight. I thought O'Hara won that fight.
Right.
But no, he's very good.
He is.
Very, very good.
He is.
But we shall see because they got their rematch in the new year. So we're going to see what's going to happen. We're going to see. I'm here with bated breath to see how that fight pans out.
That's going to be a very interesting fight. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to the Anthony Yard versus Better Beef. I wish him well because Better Beef is like a bogeyman.
How is he a bogeyman? You know what I mean?
They're all set. Well, everybody looks at him as some kind of bogeyman, like he's indestructible. Everybody's looking at him like he can't break. You know, like he's made out of steel. But
what do you mean can't break? He's got floored by Callum Johnson. So come on, man. I've seen him hurt a couple times. All the rest of it. So I'm not going to waste any energy on talking about that. I know what I see, which I convey to Tundi, and Tundi's conveying back the things to me, and he's on it. So I'm not really going to be jumping up and down about this
Better Beef
or however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, he's very good. But we'll see when you get punched in your head.
Yes.
And we ain't got long to go neither.
Yes. I mean, it's almost here. But I can't let you go without asking you this one. What has Anthony Joshua got? Can Anthony Joshua come back and reign supreme? And if so, how?
I would say this.
Yeah. That's my last one, by the way.
All right, cool. I would say this. Anthony Joshua, I believe that Anthony needs to understand the things that are fun to mental, right? Because the things that are fun that you do mentally become your fundamentals. That's what I'm trying to say. And if Anthony Joshua can do that and get some real boxing people around you, some real boxing heads, you know what I mean? Then I believe with men with experience, man that can sit down and break down fights with you, guys who you're in the gym with and they're working on the fine art and the craft, I believe that Anthony Joshua can come back and become world heavyweight champion and reign supreme. I do believe it. Reason being, I was in the gym with him 2 weeks ago and we were mucking around, but I showed him little things. But he's doing little things on a bag, right? And that man is supremely athletic. And I think he's got punching power as well. With his speed and athleticism, I think he can knock out anybody, right? But he has to believe that he can knock out anybody. And if he can believe that he can knock out anybody, you know what it is? When you believe in what you believe in, your reality becomes your belief and it becomes your truth because your belief becomes your reality. So if you can do that, then that's what it is. You believe in it so much that your belief becomes your reality. He has to do that. He's got to believe in it so much that his belief becomes his reality. But it's very difficult. If you're worth how much, 200 mil or whatever it is, you're worth that kind of money there. I'm just keeping it 100. I don't believe that anyone's going to be around you to tell you the jar truth. You know what I mean? I think everyone's just happy to get to be around and collect your check and all right, but we don't want to ruffle the feathers because it is the champ. And this is how it goes. It is the champ. But everybody, right throughout boxing history, will have somebody that will say, yo, can pull you to the side and say, yo, Bridget, man, I like that, you know. Right? I don't know if Andy Josh has got that from me. What I know is that when me and him talk, it's bare love and respect. Right? So I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's got that. But what I am saying is, he's out with Virgil Hunter right now, and maybe that more thing of that having that older head around him, because I know that Andre Wall always pops into the gym as well. I remember Andre Wall was extending his hand out to Anthony Joshua from way back, wanting to get in there, right? I believe that if that was to happen and he can get that, then I believe that Anthony Joshua can come back. I believe that he can reign supreme. You know what I mean? That's what I believe. But you're not going to do it with the current crop of people that you're around. I'm not knocking nobody who's around him, but you're not going to do it with the current crop of people around you because we can see certain forms of instability there, right? Certain forms of instability, and it's even going to be even more hard when you know that you've got that FU money. When you got that kind of money, that you don't business that kind of money there, is very, very difficult. And it's hard to listen to someone when you're richer than them. It's hard. Someone will be coming to you with the greatest advice, the greatest piece of knowledge, all the rest of it. But you're sitting at the end of the day, you're like, you know what I mean? His bread's buttered on 6 sides. So it's hard to tell a man like that anything. But it's whether you want to humble yourself.
That's what I mean.
Enough to say, if you can humble himself enough, because all these mantra was like, what was it? Stay hungry, stay humble. What was that? Right. Yeah. Right, now is the time when you need to show me that you're hungry and also show me that you're humble.
Now's the time he needs the humility the most.
Yeah, exactly. Now's the time. You know what I mean, I still got time of day for Andy Joshua. I think he's a fantastic. He has been a fantastic ambassador for British boxing. Yeah. So, I mean, we shall see, man.
And he can rise again if certain things are in place. He can rise again.
Yeah,
he can rise again and ride again.
Yeah, 100.
You know what, Spencer? It's been a pleasure to have your boxing insight grace us here at the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And we shouldn't leave it for 2.5 years next time.
Yeah, blame COVID, man. But we'll be back. I've been grateful for being on your show, man. Thank you very much, man. All right, I love boxing.
Appreciate it. Thank
you. We got every single person that was on the chat as well. You know what I mean? But next time I come on here, start sending the Ralph Dawkins Combat Radio some Snapchat money, man.
Yeah, they're getting a bit stingy around here. They're getting a bit stingy.
Well, you know what? I even say that people getting stingy because, to be real, it's tight out here right now.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? For the mere fact of the people that came on here and who gave their time, that's the most precious thing that you can give is your time. So I appreciate all you guys. Yeah, thank you very much. Peace to your fingers. I'm gone, my brother. Love you. Yeah?
Blessed. That's blessed to the Spencer Fearon. Didn't have to come. Took his time. Come over here to chop it up with the Raphie and with y'all. Everybody who took the time out to come and, soak up some of the wisdom, from the knowledge. It's been in this thing now for decades, doing it for decades. Uncle Burnt Apostrophe, yes. DT3, the Boon Man, up in the building. Good to see you, my friend. Hope all is well with you. The Bizzle says, big up the knowledge every time. Baboon Boxing, great interview. Thanks for imbuing us with your boxing postulation, Spencer. Respect, yes. Yes, okay. Well, that's Marveloso. What did we do? We did 55 minutes worth. And kept it flowing, kept it moving. And so, yes, not really much more to say. We covered it all in the show. Thank you to everybody who took time out to come and watch and view and participate. Raphie's going to go and eat his mango now. I took it out before the show, so it should now be at perfect room temperature. What are we going to do? Probably do something Thursday. Probably do a little live show on a Thursday. What time is it now? Yeah, around a similar time. So, to everybody who came through, everybody who dropped a question in, magnifique, marveloso. Right about now, Raphie is going to sign out. Thank you to the knowledge, Spencer Fearon, and everybody who took time out to come and join us. But anyway, it's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it's the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notification. And don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, and we are out. Blessed.